Watching the Independence Day special broadcast here on India Head News. We've been in conversation with various celebrities, folk artists, historians, sporting personalities, reveling and reliving the glorious 75-year journey of our country. And whilst we're recognizing the sacrifices of the past, we must also acknowledge the accolades and the laurels of the present as well. Some really good news was being received on an everyday basis from the Commonwealth Games camp in Birmingham. But amidst the news of medals in track and field, wrestling, weightlifting, racket sports, etc., we have unfortunately missed to acknowledge that today esports and e-gaming is also a huge and a big competitive sphere and industry. Well, folks, joining me on the broadcast, meet the man behind India's esports team that bagged the bronze medal in the Dota 2 gaming esports event. Moin Ejaz, a very warm welcome to the show. Moin, before we begin with this show, can you just make all the countrymen proud over here? Can you show your medal and tell us what the feeling was like when you were called on the podium and you received that medal on behalf of Team India?
Well, it was a very proud moment for us. Like I have played many events before, but like playing for your country is like a very big achievement for me. It's like a pride moment also when you're winning a medal for your country.
Well, what was the feeling like? What did your parents say looking at that shining piece
They were
of
like
trophy that's now going to
very
be in
happy.
the...
Like they were cheering and shouting, and every relative they were all watching my games, and so yeah. So everyone is like congratulating me when I finish my game. So my message is like my social media and my WhatsApp, it was like bombarded with like a lot of congratulations messages and
Absolutely. And you know, I mean, the thing is that India also had a great outing at the Commonwealth Esports Championship. The Dota team won, like I mentioned, the bronze medal at the event. Now, Moin Ejaz is also the team captain. He received a grand welcome. We've all been looking at those visuals when you came to West Bengal from Birmingham. You said that you're going to try for gold next year. But before we get to that, Moin, there are so many people over here who don't really know what Dota 2 essentially is. It's a strategic type of a game. From as far as I can tell, the visuals, I'm being, transferred back to the past when we would play Age of Empires, per se, a strategic game like that. Help the viewers understand what Dota 2 really is and how it is of interest to you and your teammates.
So basically, it's a little complicated to understand for new players, but I think once you start knowing how the game works, I think you will it will be like your best thing you have ever learned. Like it's very
All right.
interesting to play. So it's basically there are like a lot of different characters, like 100 plus characters. So each players have to control their own like character in the game. So there are like 5 players of team, and there's a enemy team also, like opponent team. They also have like 5 players in their team. So yeah, it's pretty much like that. Like you have to earn money, you have to destroy the enemy building, and there is a like main building in the game where if you destroy that, you kind of like you win the game.
So the objective of the
So
game is to safeguard that particular tower, that particular building from the
yeah,
enemy forces. A little more complex version of Counter Strike, if I may, what we used to play back in the day. But it seems like 100
you can
plus
say like
characters.
if you played Clash of Clans in the phone game, I think
Right,
it's
right.
like the perfect example. But this is on PC, and it's very much like
It's
it's more
expansive, it's
much
large. You
more
have to, like you're
complicated.
saying, you have to earn money, build up your resources,
Yeah.
saving
So
your
there are
own
like
civilization.
there are like a lot of different roles also. Like one guy have to earn more money, and the other guy have to protect him. And so like it's kind of a strategy you can make. Like this guy will try to pressure them, the player who need more money to like have more impact in the game. So you can go and start pressuring him. So other
Or
guys
if
have
you
to
have
defend
lesser
him.
money, you then go start looting the enemy's coffers and stuff like that. Seems like a
Yeah.
digital representation of society, as it were. Now, Mohin, tell me, did you ever imagine that one day, people are going to send you congratulatory messages for playing a video game? Something that, for the longest time, parents have been saying, let the kids be away from video games. Let them not come near video games. It's going to spoil them. It's a waste of time. They should study on education. But look at you. You won a medal for the country.
Yeah, I mean it's almost in every household. Like they say, don't play games. It's just like for fun. You're just wasting time. But yeah, like I seen some like recognition when I used to play for a good team back in 2017. Like people who knows the game, who knows this game, and who knows esports, they used to like congratulate me for playing it. But now since I won medal for a country, like a lot of people coming up to know like what Dota is and what the game is. So everyone is like very happy about it, and they're like exploring, and they're like motivating the kids also. Like, you know, some parents knows that that you can win medals now in the like Commonwealth Games and
Right.
Asian Games, and future in Olympic also it going to be included. So yeah, like everyone is like it's going good for Dota
Absolutely.
and the
And
esports scene as
I'm
well.
going to make the team captain Moin Ejaz over here proud. I'm also going to name his teammates as well. They also deserve to be named here on this show. So Moin Ejaz is the captain of the Dota team. We've got Ketan Goyal, we've got Abhishek Yadav, Shubham Goli, and Vishal Vernekar, who defeated New Zealand by 2-0 in a best-of-3 format to bag that bronze medal. Now, Moin, it's 75 years of India's independence. That's the theme of this particular show. We've come a real long way. How far and long do you think the gaming industry has come, the gaming insights amongst the youth, and how it has really grown? It has grown as an industry. We've got the Prime Minister talking about aviation, animation, and gaming industry. Do you think it has grown? And of course, there is room for improvement. What do you look and envision for the future as well?
I think it's it's the biggest like growing like market, you can say, like esports all over the world. It's growing in India. I think as you know, like Free Fire, PUBG, and all like booming super hard. Like
Right.
like before nobody knew what it is. Now it's a like multi-crore business opportunity, you can say. Like it just keep booming. Like it just keep growing and growing. So there are like a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of new like career you can make in it.
Right. And are
So
there
yeah, like
resources for you to practice? Are there resources for you to practice? Your teammates? Do you have like we can see athletes? They go to special training centers. Swimmers have specially dedicated swimming pools to themselves. Do you have special dedicated computer rooms or like with the right kind of
okay.
gadgets and equipment for you to practice?
Okay. So right now, actually, we don't have any facilities like that. But before, when I used to play, like before the COVID, there was like we had our own gaming house, on cook, on chef, like everything that a professional team should have. But since COVID, like everything kind of went down. Like a lot of people started leaving the games because they see that there's no like career option. Like the game is kind of going down because of there is no events happening because of the COVID. Like there is no LAN events and no big events. So like a lot of my old teammates, almost all of them kind of left the game, and they decided to do other stuff. They decided to like find other careers. But yeah, like some of the players were still playing, and then when the Commonwealth being held like there like 3 months before, I started finding good players around the India, and like all the top players, I contact them, and we decided to make a team and compete for the Commonwealth Games. Yeah.
And I was looking at that there are a lot more sponsors that are now involved in this entire episode as well. You've got proper endorsements. So, of course, the road ahead seems much more greener and much more optimistic. But, folks, not to forget that the esports is a proper medal event in the Asian Games 2022 as well, which is scheduled next year in Hangzhou from the 23rd of September till the 8th of October. And Ejaz has been on record saying that he is definitely going to try for a gold medal next time around. Ejaz, tell us about the Asian Games. What are the plans for Asian Games? Are you going to strategize differently this time around? And is the team going to participate in more games like the Rocket League, like FIFA 22 as well?
Actually, I'm not sure about the other sports, but for Dota 2, like we are going to make a best team for the Asian Games, and we'll try to like as much as like gain practice from the other events. There will be like a lot of other events also happening, so we will like try our very best to make a team which can defeat like pro teams around the world, like best team around the world. So yeah, that's like main objective right now.
All right, all right. Before we wrap this up, Moin Ejaz, the cameras are all pointing towards you. Your message to the youth on the 75th Independence Day celebrations. Over to you.
Uh, is it for esports or like
Well, go
some other
ahead.
thing?
Your call. Your message to the youth.
Yeah, like if you like now you have the freedom, right? I mean, like parents will agree. I think like most of the parents will know like what like what gaming is. So I think it's a freedom for like for the kids, for the new players, for the gamers. They can like start playing their own game. Like they can convince their parents that it's not just a like like a waste of time. You can actually earn medals and
Make your country
reputation from
proud.
the games.
Yeah, make your country proud as well. Before
Yeah, make your
before we
country
end this,
proud and
Moin
play.
Ajaz, you've been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining. Show us that